that's what Jesus did, right? So I was studying for this. Oh, it's going fast. Whew. So I was studying for this lesson for a while. I prayed about this. When I first became the youth leader, I knew at some point somebody was going to say something. I was going to have to come up here. And it just happened to be Craig in one of the meetings. But I had an idea of what I wanted to do, right? And that was this lesson. So I had this plan of how it was going to work out in my head, and I prayed about it, and I had, the first section figured out, the second section figured out, the third section, it was just, wasn't a lot coming for that third section. I knew how I wanted it to play out, but it was like these other ones, like how it went out, the questions, all that stuff was, I pray about it in the morning on my way to work. That's my quiet time, right? There's no kids, there's no coworkers. That was my time. So when I got to the why, that was the big one for me. Why did Jesus, right? I did all the studying, and then I did all the praying. I kept prepping for the other parts of the lesson. I'm like, the why is going to come. But I kept telling myself, I got this lesson. It's a 3-part. To me, it was going to be 3 parts. It was going to be, the first part, the second part, and then I get to that third one. So that must be coming later. I'm going to keep praying, and it's going to keep coming. But I kept praying about it. I kept studying on it. I wasn't getting nothing. Well, I got something, but it wasn't a lot. So I'm like, I'm not getting a lot. So I was like, oof. I was getting nervous because I'm like, what am I going to tell these kids? Because I'm like, there's got to be more. There's got to be more than this. There's got to be something else. There's got to be a scripture. There's got to be something. I didn't get scriptures. I didn't get go look at nothing else. I got the same thing from when I first wrote this out as a 3-part thing. I wrote it in my notebook. I was driving to work. I pulled over in the very beginning, and I wrote down what each one was going to be, like the topics of each section. And that third section just stayed there. One word. It's just the one word. So I'm like, woo. So I'm like, but I knew how I wanted it to play out. So I had this idea that it would, we get through the first section, the second section. I get to the third one. I wanted the pastors to come up and pray, right? So I said, that was the plan. So we go out to dinner, and pastors are like, this Sunday, when you're done, we're going to have the kids come up and pray. So I'm like, man, all right. So, but it's all, I'm like, maybe this third section don't have to be a section. Maybe it's just, so I just kept praying about it. And this is what I'm saying. Like, when you spend time with God, it doesn't have to be this big scriptures. We get them up on the board and this big biblical thing. But to me, I got one word for why. And like I said, I studied a lot, and all I got was, and this is for you guys, the youth. You are the reason that God came. You guys are the reason that he sacrificed himself on the cross. You guys are the reason he came down here and showed an example of what you're supposed to strive to be. And for me, this was just, that 3 letters, it's small, but that's what it is. You guys need to understand that he gave up everything, and if it was just you, he would have done the same thing. And that goes for the rest of us. We're all a you. But for you guys are young, and you guys have this, you guys are invincible, and everything's ahead of you. But he did it specific for each and every one of you guys. And that's why I was like, there's got to be some scriptures in there. But I was putting it all together, and I ran it by the boss lady. She was helping me, and it's just like, before I got to this last section, it's just like, it just doesn't end right. But when I did more studying, and it's powerful, it's important. I prayed about this a lot, and I spent a lot of time in the Word over this lesson, and it couldn't end any better way for you guys to understand just how important you guys are. That somebody came here and sacrificed everything for you. That he came down here and walked with sick people and healed them and showed you guys that even as a youngster at 12 years old, he was trying to learn, right? He could have just stayed up. He didn't have to come back if he didn't want to. But when and it says that, when he's on the cross, he sees each and every one of us. So he sees the struggles you guys are going through. He sees the struggles that I went through. And there's nothing too big for God. There's nothing in your life that you're going through that's too big for God.